evening, everyone. My name is Joe Pawlik, and I'd like to start out telling you a little something about myself that I don't tell a whole lot of people. I used to be a practicing Catholic, but now I'm a Reformed Cathoholic. You know the difference between the two, don't you? We Cathoholics don't go to those weekly meetings. They call them church services, but it should be Sunday morning calisthenics, don't you think? Hey, come on. You go in, you sit down, you stand, you sit, you stand, you sit, you kneel, you stand, you kneel. You go get in line, you go get a snack, you come back, you kneel down, you stand, and then you go out for Sunday morning breakfast. It's not the roughest workout that you'll ever have, but it's still a workout all the same, you know? Now, having been a Catholic most of my life, I was rather surprised by the events that took place in the Vatican this past year. Pope Benedict was the first pope in over 600 years to step down from his office. But more impressively is that he's the first pope ever to cash in a 401k. He gave his notice to the entire world at the beginning of February. And having been a manager previously, I felt that it was rather thoughtful of him to give 2.5 weeks' notice. Now, he said he was stepping down due to his health, but I don't buy it. I figure that in about 4 months' time, you're going to see a photograph of him in the National Enquirer, holding a champagne bottle in one hand and a winning Powerball ticket in the other. And what about all the mundane stuff when you decide to retire? Where do you take the paperwork? You take it to HR, the boss? There was a lightning strike at the Vatican the day he gave his notice. You think it was the boss asking, "Are you sure?" Well, the 28th of February was his last day. And you know at about 3 p.m., 2 Vatican guards showed up at his office carrying a cardboard box. "This is for your personal effects, Holy Father. Please just leave your laptop, BlackBerry, and the thumb drive on the desk. IT will come pick it up later." And you know he packed up in a hurry, too, because there were 24 nuns and priests waiting to take him to the local TGI Fridays afterwards for snacks and drinks. Well, there are 1.2 billion Catholics in the world. So when the College of Cardinals met to vote in a new pope, it was a pretty big deal. And news agencies all around the world covered it, kind of like they cover the Olympics. And like the Olympics, unless you're Catholic, you may not understand some of the coverage. Like when they show curling matches during the Winter Olympics. Well, let's face it, the only people that understand that sport are Canadians. I rest my case. And then there's the voting. Did you know that all of them are done on handwritten ballots, and then after the votes are done, they burn the ballots, and that's where they get the smoke that comes out of the chimney. They had thought about modernizing it and getting voting machines from out of Florida, but had they done that, you know Al Gore would have been asking for a recount. Well, the conclave went very quickly, and history was made once again. They selected Pope Francis, and he's the first pope from outside of Europe. He's from South America. And I'm kind of hoping he takes some of that South American influence and puts it into the church. Personally, I'd like to see him start with Lent. It's too somber. I'd like to see him make it more like Carnival. You know, lots of drinking, loud samba music. He can throw beads from his balcony in St. Peter's Square. You know, just imagine how much you'd look forward to those 40 days. And I'll tell you this, if he were to take and start doing that, I may actually consider practicing again. You guys have been a lot of fun.